In my family, it is a tradition to make lemon poppy seed muffins on the weekend as a family and then dive into them as soon as they came out of the oven. So I, as a result, am obsessed with anything lemon poppy seed flavored. It's just so nostalgic and so amazing to me. So I wanted to make a lemon poppy seed white chocolate ganache. I've played around a lot with lemon poppy seed flavors in buttercream and using the poppy seed for decoration or a poppy seed paste or all kinds of things, but this time let's do a ganache. So using my standard white chocolate ganache recipe as the base, I have cream, sugar, almond, and lemon extracts in my saucepan. I have some cream and cornstarch in another little bowl, and I am going to cook this like a pastry cream. Yes, the cornstarch is necessary. Yes, the sugar is necessary. I am just going to temper in the cream in the saucepan into the cream and cornstarch in the bowl here, and just temper that in. Cornstarch is a little bit weird. It can get clumpy really easily, which is why it's really important to have that secondary bowl and then to add in the cream once it's hot before mixing everything back into the saucepan. Now that everything is in there together, I am going to whisk this continuously. In the beginning, it looks basically just like a pot of cream, but as you whisk, things will start to thicken up as it cooks, and it will become very, very thick by the end. With a pastry cream or with this chocolate ganache recipe, if you just walk away, the bottom of the pan will cook and then the top of the pan won't be heated through quite as consistently, and because of the thickening agents in here, it is going to cook and thicken, and it will also burn quite easily. So if you do walk away and don't pay attention to this, you could end up with a clumpy, too thick, possibly burnt mixture, which is why it is so important to whisk continuously. I added in my extracts here right away, so it already has a nice flavor and aroma coming off of that. The reason I did not add in lemon juice or lemon zest is because lemons are so acidic, and that really could do a lot of damage to the ganache. So the fresh lemon element is going to come in at the very, very end after I've added in the butter. If you do accidentally add lemon in the beginning, I guess you could cross your fingers and hope that all of the baking and science gods are looking out for you, but my prediction is things would go awry very quickly. So lemon extract, okay to add in the beginning. Lemon juice, lemon zest, please wait till the end. This is starting to look thick, so I'm really keeping my eye out for bubbles. Once it starts to boil, I'm going to continue cooking it and keep it on the heat for an additional about 30 seconds or so before taking it off the heat and pouring it over the white chocolate. Because this ganache recipe is cooked more like a pastry cream, it has a lot higher cream content. It also has a lot of butter in it, and this leads it to be really, really smooth and silky in texture. It is a dream to pipe. It is so, so, so tasty. And also it uses a lot less chocolate, which means you don't get as strong of a chocolate flavor, which for me with white chocolate is nice. That can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes, and it's not as sweet because there's less chocolate. And white chocolate is expensive. It's really expensive. So I really like to use this and use a higher quality white chocolate that might be more expensive, but I'm using less of it. So because a little bit goes a long way. So for all of those reasons, I totally prefer this white chocolate recipe as my standard base recipe. As soon as that cream mixture gets poured over the top of the chocolate, I'm just going to let the heat from the cream melt the chocolate and give it a really nice stir, emulsify that, make sure everything is melted, but then leave it on my counter just at room temperature for about 15 to even 20 minutes. In the beginning, it is way too hot, and if I add it in the butter, it would melt, it would get weird, it wouldn't emulsify nicely. So temperature is super, super important here. I'm going to wait until it is warm but not hot before using my immersion blender to emulsify in the butter. If you do not have an immersion blender, I honestly do not recommend making this recipe because that is so important for getting everything combined the way it needs to be. Once the butter is all incorporated is when I will be able to add in the poppy seeds and lemon zest and even a little bit of lemon juice if you want to add that. I think from this point on especially, the amount of poppy seeds, the amount of lemon zest really is up to your own personal taste. Personally, I really like intense, strong, no doubt about what flavor you have going on in your mouth kind of flavors. And even though, as I mentioned, this recipe, because of how it's made, because of the ratio of ingredients, it doesn't have a super overwhelming white chocolate vibe or flavor to it. It still is butter, cream, and chocolate. So I think adding in a lot of the extracts and poppy seeds and lemon zest in just a high quantity is really what I like to do to make sure that when you bite into the finished product and into those macarons, your first thought is lemon, poppy seed, almond, and it's not white chocolate, cream, macaron. I want those other brighter, the little bit nutty flavors and the crunch from the poppy seeds still to be what you think of and what you have and you feel in your mouth first. So I really, really want these flavors to be intense. In light of that, because of that, that's why I also added in the addition of the lemon extract right away. But because I prefer when there's a fresh flavor, I also want to add in some lemon zest at the end. So I'm going for the dual action lemon zest and lemon extract. You could absolutely just choose one or the other. And then the poppy seeds absolutely are to taste. I recommend emulsifying in some and then kind of going from there. Is it enough? Do you want more? It really is just to taste whatever you prefer. I know in some countries, Korea for example, poppy seeds are illegal. You can't buy them. I am so sorry if that is the case. I adore poppy seeds. I think they're phenomenal. So I really hope that you have them available to you and you can try out this ganache recipe. If you've seen any of my other ganache videos, you know that I really like to cool my ganache at room temperature using some plastic wrap lining in a sheet pan. Because the ganache can spread out in such a thin layer, it cools down really quickly, really easily, and you're ready to pipe. This ganache is so silky and so smooth. It is just a dream to pipe, as I mentioned. If for any reason your lemon poppy seed ganache feels a little bit too loosey-goosey, but it is absolutely room temperature, you can stick it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes before piping, and this absolutely will firm up like any other ganache. Remember, there's a ton of butter in here as well as chocolate, so with the cool from the refrigerator or freezer, it will absolutely harden and act like a normal ganache recipe, even though it is so silky. Otherwise, I'm just going to get these macaron shells sandwiched up here, and these are ready to go after that mandatory 24 hours in the refrigerator or freezer to mature. I find that in general, ganache-filled macarons mature a little bit faster and maybe want to be eaten a little bit sooner than buttercream-filled macarons, but that absolutely could depend on your kitchen or how much ganache you're using or what kind of macaron shell recipe you're using as well. So just be aware aware of that and kind of look out for what is best for you, for when things mature, when they are best eaten, etc. All right, thank you so much for coming along on this ganache tutorial with me today. I hope you give this a try. If you do, I would love to see your end results. If you are not already following me on Instagram, I would love to see you there, and I would love to see what you do. So make sure to follow me and tag me in anything you try. You can just search my name at Maddie Brame. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.